Halo Sobat Kampus Biru, oke hari ini ketemu lagi dengan aku. Sebenarnya ini baru kali pertama ya kalian ketemu sama Rara. Rara merupakan salah satu mahasiswi University of Mataram semester akhir. Nah sekarang kita bakal membahas sesuatu hal yang sangat amat luar biasa nih. Apalagi untuk mahasiswa-mahasiswa FEB yang ada di sini. Karena kita udah kedatangan nih dua tamu luar biasa dan istimewa. Di sini kita bakal membahas terkait beasiswa AIYP atau AIYP yang dimana beasiswa ini bekerja sama dengan Kementerian Pemuda dan Olahraga dari Indonesia dan salah satu kementerian yang ada di Australia, yang dimana ini adalah program seperti kayak exchange program yang dimana itu bisa internship atau bakal cultural exchange. Nah, maybe without any further ado kita bakal nyapa nih dua tamu istimewa kita hari ini. Oke, hello guys, good afternoon.
Hello, thank you for having us here today.
Okay, maybe before we move to another topic, can you just guys introduce yourself? Okay, from you Sam maybe?
Thank you. Nama saya Sam.
Oh.
Umur saya 23 tahun.
Okay.
Saya mahasiswa Hubungan Internasional di Monash Universitas. That is all of my Indonesian left, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm an IAP delegate 2024.
Okay.
And yeah, thanks for having me here today.
Yeah, sure. With thanks either. Okay, how about you, Miss?
Yeah, thank you so much. Halo semuanya, perkenalkan aku Putri Aulia Zahra, basic panggil Ara. Aku merupakan delegasi AIEP atau Australian Indonesia Youth Exchange Program tahun 2024 dari West Sumatra atau Sumatera Barat, Kota Padang. Jadi aku merupakan lulusan dari Public Health Andalas University. So thank you guys for having me here.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Andalas University. I think it's not really. I think itu udah beberapa kali sering kita dengar ya, Andalas merupakan salah satu universitas terbaik Padang, tapi bukan nasi Padang ya teman. Oke, mungkin boleh diceritakan nih Kak, what is the selection process of being the part of AIYP? What we call AIYP? AIYP. Okay, AIYP. Okay, what is the process selection?
Untuk proses selection itu berbeda antara delegasi Indonesia sama delegasi Australia. Karena untuk Indonesia kita ada beberapa step seleksi terlebih dahulu, which is itu dari daerah yang kita laksanakan di bawah lembaga Dispora atau Dinas Pemuda Olahraga di masing-masing provinsi. Lalu di sana diadakan satu karantina, interview, esai dan lain sebagainya. Dan yang paling penting kita menyiapkan satu cultural performances dari masing-masing delegasi. Dan ketika sudah dipilih ada 10 kandidat di tahun ini masing-masing provinsi yang akan dibawa ke nasional. Jadi nanti di nasional bakal diseleksi untuk dipilih satu orang per provinsi gitu.
Oh, sangat sedikit ketat ya teman-teman, karena mereka punya tahapan-tahapan tersendiri yang dimana ternyata tidak semudah itu teman-teman, karena memang ini fully founded ya Kak?
Iya.
Oke, karena memang programnya fully founded guys, jadi nggak mungkin dong orang yang sembarangan yang bakal lolos. Oke, itu mungkin dari Indonesia. And how about from Australia? What we need to do for the selection process? Yes.
Yeah, so in Australia it is a much more simple application process. So there are no quotas per state. And part of that is because there are much less applicants in Australia compared to Indonesia. So for the Australians, anyone who's interested, how to apply is that you have to do an online Google application, Google form, and you have to get 2 letters of reference.
Okay.
And then from there, if you are shortlisted, you will do a interview over Zoom, and then from there you find out if you're in the program or not. And in the lead up to all of these things, there are multiple information sessions which give you all more information about the program itself.
Yeah. Oh, so from Australia it's not really difficult like Indonesia, right?
It's still quite difficult to get into, but it is nowhere near as difficult as Indonesia, unfortunately. But yeah, it's very different. The application process,
yeah, I think like that. So okay, and maybe both of you have any like experience, like Sam is coming into Indonesia, that you have any like culture shock, or about Miss Ara, sorry. How about you, which you come to Australia, that you have a culture shock, guys?
I can start. So luckily I've been able to visit Indonesia once before. I came in June this year actually, so not a very long time ago. So I think most of my culture shock was experienced during that trip. So
Yes.
when I came back to Indonesia and back to Lombok for this trip, I was much more used to my surroundings. But I don't think I would describe what I experienced as culture shock. It's
Okay.
more just cultural differences. So
Yes.
I was able to see lots of different things that are very different to home, and being able to learn from these differences has really expanded my worldview, and I've been so lucky to be here. It's been amazing, and the people of Lombok have made it so easy for us because everyone in Lombok is so welcoming and
Yes.
so lovely, always smiling. So it's been very easy to build a connection with the local community here. So yeah, I wouldn't describe it as culture shock, but just culture differences I think I've experienced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simply, you enjoy your trip, right?
I have loved my trip, and it's been amazing to be here in Lombok. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Miss Sarah?
Sebenarnya ini pengalaman pertama aku datang ke Australia juga. Jadi
Okay.
kita mengunjungi dua, what is it called? State? Like Melbourne
State.
and
Oh,
Canberra?
that's the city,
Oh iya, city.
yeah, and then the state of Victoria.
Oh iya, jadi ada dua kota, ada Melbourne dan Canberra. Salah satu cultural differences yang aku alami itu adalah kita berbeda karena kita jalannya agak pelan dari masyarakat Australia. Mereka lebih cepat. Dan mereka itu punya cultural work-life balance that you guys have that I really love. Karena mereka itu punya 9 to 5 jadwal dari kerjaan, tapi setelah udah jam 5 mereka nggak bakal kerja lagi. Mereka nggak ada kerja lembur atau
I
mereka
ever
nggak
heard that one.
terlalu hustle and bustle to work
Yes.
life, karena mereka sangat mengencourage untuk bagaimana bisa memiliki lifestyle yang sehat, bagaimana enjoying your life, happiness and stuff. Dan selanjutnya itu mereka banyak sign di jalan itu. Jadi kita kalau misalnya ke Australia pun kita nggak pusing mau kemana gitu. Itu salah satu cultural differences. Tapi yang untuk apa ya, hal-hal yang mungkin aku miss dari Indonesia gitu. Kita jarang lihat masjid kalau di sana. Aku quite struggling untuk prayer kalau di sana, tapi alhamdulillah aku mendapatkan tempat internship yang menyediakan aku tempat sholat, dan teman-teman juga sangat toleransi dengan yang beragama Islam begitu. Dan I really enjoy to be in Australia.
Would you want to go over there for one time again or
Yeah.
many times?
Hopefully next year. Hopefully.
Okay.
We'd love to have you back. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And how about the benefit of join AYEP?
Kalau benefit itu benefitnya banyak banget. Aku sangat tidak menyangka untuk mendapatkan benefit sebanyak ini. Yang pertama pasti networking.
Okay.
Kita nggak hanya berbicara mengenai networking sesama delegasi aja, tetapi di sana kita punya kesempatan untuk membuat networking dengan orang-orang besar contohnya.
Oh, okay.
Jadi di sana itu aku stay dengan host family, yang kebetulan host family itu aku kerja di DFAT atau di kementerian itu juga.
Yeah.
Jadi aku bisa berkenalan dengan orang-orang di sana, making experience, mengetahui bagaimana perspektif mereka tentang Indonesia-Australia bilateral relationship.
Okay.
Jadi aku bisa mendapatkan insight langsung dari orangnya seperti itu. Untuk benefitnya lagi, of course kita mendapatkan pengalaman untuk tinggal di luar negeri yang dibawahi oleh Kemenpora dan DFAT, dan di sana kita sangat dibimbing bagaimana memahami perbedaan budaya, kita mendapatkan cultural experience exchange juga, dan professional experience di mana aku mendapatkan 2 kali kesempatan magang. Yang pertama aku mendapatkan kesempatan magang di social enterprise di Australia, yang di sini aku mendapatkan kesempatan magang di NGO atau Nusa Biodiversitas Indonesia. Dan dari pengalaman itu aku merasa oh ternyata untuk kerja di negara yang berbeda itu butuh personality yang berbeda juga gitu, butuh
Betul.
bonding yang berbeda juga.
Harus menyesuaikan diri ya.
Iya, benar, menyesuaikan diri gitu. Jadi benefitnya lebih ke sana, praktikal dan lebih membangun apa ya?
Professional relation ya.
Iya, dan juga kalau misalnya secara mentality itu kita sangat dibimbing, dan kita harus terbiasa dengan fleksibilitas karena kita nggak tahu nih ke depan itu bakal menghadapi apa gitu.
Betul.
Dan ke depan kita harus adaptasi dengan budaya apa gitu.
Oke. Ada kesulitan di sana waktu beradaptasi dengan masyarakat di Australia atau gimana Kak?
So far nggak terlalu struggling karena di sana ya kayak aku bilang tadi dibimbing sama Kemenpora, dan delegasinya juga encouraging, embracing juga. Ada Sam dan juga 21 delegasi Australia lainnya yang sangat open untuk kita belajar di sana.
Okay. And how about you, Sam? What you feel about the benefit of joining the
There
IEP?
are so many benefits of joining IEP. We've all been so lucky to go through this experience. I think the main benefit really is the people-to-people connections that we have all made. Firstly, through our counterpart. So my Indonesian counterpart, Dwiki, from North Sulawesi. We've forged an amazing friendship. We've been able to share things, differences about our culture. We've learnt so much from each other, and we've really just connected on a really personal level. And in a similar way, we've all done that with each other across the delegations. We've made such great friendships. We've really had our views expanded, challenged, and we've learnt so much from each other. Even just making friends with other people from Australia, like being able to meet different people there. So I think the main thing has been the people-to-people connections, and that I know that I've made friends for life through this program. Even knowing that I have places to stay in Indonesia next time I come here. So I can,
We're waiting for you.
of course, I can do a big tour of Indonesia and see all of my friends across the country. Similar to what Ara said as well, the professional experience has been great. I have never worked overseas before. So my internship with Nusa Biodiversitas Indonesia has been a great experience because I plan to keep working overseas in the future. So this has been a great learning experience, learning the challenges and opportunities when it comes to working in a foreign environment. So it's been a really great way for me to expand my knowledge there. So yeah, there are so many benefits, but I think the main thing is the friendships and the people that you meet along the way. We've been so lucky. Yeah.
Agree.
Yes, I think there's a long-term impact for you guys
Yeah.
because you have a lot of relationship that undescribed, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yes. And how about the differences between IEP, and another exchange?
Oke. Mungkin kalau untuk perbedaan IEP dengan program exchange lainnya, IEP itu punya 3 hal yang akan kita capai. Yang pertama people to people contact, yang kedua itu adalah cultural exchange, yang ketiga adalah professional experience. Jadi aku merasakan dari 3 pilar ini aku harus mempersiapkan hal yang benar-benar matang. Salah satunya itu aku harus belajar tari saman dari Aceh. Dari bulan Juni sampai September itu kita 21 delegasi harus belajar saman bareng-bareng 21 orang yang nantinya bakal dipakai untuk visit, misalnya visit ke embassy, visit ke university. Kita pernah visit ke Monash University, Australian National University, dan juga visit ke sekolah-sekolah di sini, ke kantor gubernur dan lain sebagainya. Itu salah satu bentuk cultural exchange dari kita. Dan kita juga mempersiapkan kayak medley lagu, ada lagu dari Jakarta, ada lagu dari Sumatera
itu di-combine
juga.
gitu ya?
Di-combine
Okay.
gitu, dan ada gerakan-gerakan yang bisa
keren.
represent the song juga.
ya, oke.
Iya, terus kita juga ada medley budaya, jadi kita bikin storyline gitu untuk menceritakan suatu budaya yang ada di Indonesia. Dan dari 3 culture performance itu kita bisa memperkenalkan nih, oh ini Indonesia itu punya ini gitu. Kalau kamu datang ke Indonesia, kalau mau tari saman berarti kamu ke Aceh atau dan lain sebagainya gitu.
Iya.
Dan mungkin menurut aku untuk program lain, action lain itu nggak ada yang masif itu dalam hal cultural exchange, karena IEP memang dikhususkan untuk berdiplomasi antara 2 negara ini. Jadi IEP lebih spesial dalam hal exchange the cultural, exchange the personal experience, I guess, karena at the end kamu bakal dikasih 2 kesempatan magang, dan dari magang itu kamu bisa berkolaborasi nih dari perspektif Indonesia apa, perspektif Australian apa, seperti apa yang aku lakukan sama Sam di sini gitu.
Oh, berarti mereka sangat terbuka ya kalau seandainya ini internship gitu ya.
Yes.
Karena memang mungkin kerjasamanya sudah terbangun dari lama ya, Kak. Ini sudah tahun keberapa ya kalau boleh tahu?
Udah 82 tahun.
82 tahun, lebih tua dari Indonesia. Oh wow. Sangat lama ya. And how about your I think like perspective about the benefit, the differences between IEP and another exchange?
Yeah, I will start off my comment here by saying I'm unaware of the details of other exchange programs available to Indonesians. So I'm I'm not comparing it to those. But I really think what makes IEP so different is the emphasis on
Yeah.
people to people connections and making friendships and really long relationships. The whole program is based around developing relationships with your counterpart and the other delegates. That's really the main focus, and that's what every activity comes back to. So it is such a great thing with that. Another great benefit of the program is the access that we have gotten to some really amazing speakers in some amazing places, like visiting the Australian Embassy in Jakarta, and some of the guest lectures we got whilst we were at the Australian National University, and even here in Lombok as well, when we've had the chance to meet the governor of Nusa Tenggara Barat and the head of local government officials like Diaspora. So just the access we've had to strong leaders within both countries has been amazing. We've been able to learn from them as well. So yeah, I think the main thing that sets IEP apart is the strong connections that people build. Yeah.
Okay, so for this year, you just go coming to Lombok or another place in Indonesia either?
Sebenarnya nggak ada, cuma
nggak ada.
Lombok untuk fase Indonesianya, tapi untuk transisi program itu kita di Jakarta.
Oh, so it is like a two city from Indonesia, right? Lombok and Jakarta.
Yes,
Did
I
you feel-
believe every year they fly into all the groups start in Jakarta and finish in Jakarta. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I think so because that is one of the bigger
of course. Yeah.
city in Indonesia. And how about the difference between Jakarta and Lombok that you feel?
Lombok is much more relaxed.
Correctly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jakarta is too busy, right?
Yeah, I've never been to Jakarta until this trip, so it
Okay.
was great to see Jakarta. It was great to be able to go and experience it. I personally prefer a more relaxed environment, so getting to Lombok was a really nice breath of fresh air. I still really enjoyed my time in Jakarta though, and it was great to meet some amazing speakers, as I said, and to experience life there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Lombok I really have just absolutely loved because it is so in line with a lot of my values, like just the relaxed nature of it, the coast as well,
Yes.
and also just being able to get into nature has been very easy from Mataram and in Lombok especially. So yeah, I've absolutely loved it here. Yeah,
You feel calm down in this, right?
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Maybe I want to asking about the specific things again about this IEP. What the characteristic of the selected candidate to get IEP?
Oke, ini mungkin berkaitan dengan Instagram IEP Delegates.
Oke.
Teman-teman boleh ngecek IEP Delegates.
Okay, can we see the IEP
Delegates?
Oh, this one.
Oke. Oke, karakteristik dari delegasi IEP yang terpilih, aku bisa menyimpulkan bahwa IEP ini sangat membuka kesempatan bagi teman-teman yang ingin belajar, karena dari sini kita bisa melihat bahwa oh ternyata ada beberapa budaya nih di Indonesia, tapi end up kita harus mempersiapkan cultural performance yang mungkin gak berasal dari daerah kita. Contohnya aku gak terlalu into dancing, tapi aku harus belajar tentang tari saman, dan itu agak struggling di sana, tetapi at the end aku bisa belajar dan nantinya bisa menyampaikan apa value dari tari saman kepada orang banyak, dan itu menurut aku value yang harus diterapkan adalah bagaimana kamu membuka kesempatan untuk belajar hal baru dari luar sana dan being open mind dengan semua keberagaman yang akan kamu hadapi di Australia nantinya, karena menurut aku kita sangat berbeda, completely different dari geografi, dari cultural, dan juga dari personality orang-orangnya. Dan menurut aku IEP itu harus open dengan semua keberagaman di sana, dan nantinya dari keberagaman itulah cara untuk kita berkolaborasi. Jadi pun kita tidak relevan dengan keberagaman yang ada, is that still okay? Karena menurut aku kolaborasi itu bisa datang dari mana aja, dan turns out IEP itu lebih ke kolaborasi dan bagaimana kita tuh take a meaningful about everything in our activity.
Oh, it's so interesting.
Yes.
And how about your perspective, Sam?
Yeah, sorry, I was just smiling as we were scrolling through that Instagram page because I remember first looking at those photos before the Australians and the Indonesians met, and now that I know everyone so well, it's funny to see that now. I love those posts. Anyway, I think on a more personal level, some of the characteristics that make up IEP delegates is that we are all very eager to learn. I think we're all very open to experiencing different cultures and learning from each other. We're also very adaptable. You need to be able to adapt to things quickly because things change very quickly in this program. So being able to adapt is very important as well. And yeah, I think that they're some of the main characteristics, just being open to learning and being able to adapt as things happen quickly. Yeah.
Karena menurut aku IEP itu kan kita bukan pertukaran pelajar, tapi kita pertukaran pemuda. Min, kamu itu jadi dutanya gitu loh dari provinsi masing-masing. Nanti gather sama 21 delegates lainnya dan kamu jadi duta atau ambassador dari Indonesia untuk Australia yang sesama youth gitu, sesama pemuda gitu. Jadi kita nggak
like the face of Indonesia, right? Wow.
Jadi harus mempersiapkan nih pengetahuan tentang Indonesia gitu-gitu.
Oke. Kalau untuk the specific, like the maybe have like we need to get some score of TOEFL, I think, or anything else.
Persyaratan.
Yes. What the specific of that?
Kalau Indonesia kita ada TOEFL itu minimal 500 TOEFL, dan untuk selanjutnya kita harus ada post project activity. Jadi kita nggak hanya menerima dari fundingnya Kemenpora, DFED dan lain sebagainya, tapi kita harus give it back to the society towards empowerment, dan juga harus membuat suatu komunitas misalnya, atau berkontribusi kepada society kita tentang apa sih yang sudah dipelajari di Australia atau di Lombok gitu. Dan mungkin untuk proses seleksi kita juga harus memiliki keinginan untuk membuka self confidence kita, karena kita bakal banyak bicara seperti membuat speech, membuat essay, dan juga kalau di provinsi aku di West Sumatra itu kita juga ada seleksi untuk berdebat tentang suatu mosi, dan nantinya dari argumen itu bisa kita changing our idea mungkin. Dan selanjutnya mengenai post project activity tadi mungkin perbedaannya.
And how about the tips and trick to get this scholarship, I think? From you maybe, Sam?
I think if I'm speaking from an Australian perspective for the Australian delegates, I think just being confident in yourself, I think, is a really important thing. Being able to present your experiences and your knowledge well, and being confident in that and knowing that you can carry that with you is really important, because when there are 42 delegates when you arrive, it is great that everyone has been able to do that on this trip, and everyone's been able to get a real sense of who each other are. It's been amazing. I think when it comes to preparing for an application, I think it's really valuable to start learning about Indonesia more generally. Definitely learning Bahasa Indonesia. That goes without saying. Duolingo was not as helpful as I thought it would be. So if possible, doing some language training beforehand would be really valuable. But I think more broadly, learning about the differences in the everyday life between Australia and Indonesia, because learning about that earlier on, you can sort of negate some of the culture shock that you might feel if you're prepared for it. I think preparing for an application, just really learning about the other culture is really important. That same would go for the Indonesians. I think that's probably some tips.
That is from some perspective.
Yeah.
How about you, Miss Sarah?
Mungkin secara praktikal sama. Kalau untuk apply suatu program, tentunya kita harus prepare secara baik banget gitu. Misalnya TOEFL-nya harus di atas 500, esainya harus bagus, dan juga memang menjawab apa pertanyaan dari esai yang dibutuhkan gitu. Tapi personally menurut aku, gimana agar menjadi satu delegasi itu willingness to learn dan willingness to accept anything ahead gitu. Karena to be honest, di pengalaman aku di West Sumatra Selection itu nggak mudah gitu karena every candidate itu punya fieldnya masing-masing.
Yeah.
Mereka punya playgroundnya, ada yang udah jadi duta, udah
Wah.
jadi speaker di mana-mana, udah ada championnya ini itu gitu kan.
Pasti ada insecure-nya juga ya.
Iya pasti ada insecure-nya dan kita harus punya unique aspect of our personality mungkin ya dari apa yang bisa kita kontribusikan dan kita harus keep up dengan yang dibutuhkan dari IELTS program itu kan cultural exchange. Jadi kita harus memang dive into cultural exchange dan menjawab semua application requirement dari mereka gitu.
Okay. And maybe we're gonna move to another topic. It's talking about the process, mostly about the process, about this scholarship, and what made you guys decide to get this scholarship? I think that you have background like you see in Instagram or maybe anything else like I want to join this one. I want to be the part of this one. Okay.
I think I had a bit of a different journey to IEP than some others. I sort of fell into the program in a way. As I said, I travelled to Indonesia in June, and upon returning home, my partner at home, one of her best friends from high school was actually the Australian group leader last year.
Okay.
So we happened to just be sitting around chatting away, and then she brought it up to me. She said, "Have you thought about doing this program that Tex did last year?" I'm like, "Oh, what's the program?" And then I looked into it, and then I'm like, "Wow, that seems like an amazing experience." So just because of that one conversation that we had, I applied, and then I've ended up here. So the more I learnt about the program once I applied, the more excited I got. So a little bit different to most other people who had known about this program for years, but so luckily enough, I was able to make it here. I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, I think just learning about how it was, and once I'd applied, the more I learned and the more I researched, the more excited I got and the more hopeful I got that I was going to be selected, and luckily enough I was. So,
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Tex, if you're listening at home for suggesting it.
Okay. How about you?
Iya, aku sama-sama Sam. I just found out this program 2024 actually karena beberapa delegasi itu sebenarnya udah coba dari tahun-tahun sebelumnya dan fail, tapi mereka made it in this year. Tapi personally aku baru tahu program ini 2024 dan kebetulan salah satu alumni IEP juga itu teman aku dan what motivated me to join this program, yang pertama aku memang pengen untuk involve di bidang diplomasi karena sebenarnya background aku public health, tapi aku pengen mengenai tentang hubungan internasional dan lain sebagainya. Dan I think this is one of the effective way to collaborate, involve dan lain sebagainya. Karena dia berbeda dengan exchange program, kita nggak belajar di universitas atau kita nggak belajar lecture dan lain sebagainya itu kan, tapi kita lebih ke interaksi setiap hari dengan orang yang berbeda gitu. Dan salah satu motivasi aku mungkin agak klise, tapi I really want to make my parents proud. Tapi
That's really good.
Along the way aku udah graduated juga, aku pengen habis aku graduate aku punya pengalaman yang lebih intens lagi terkait internship experience, dan IEP membuka peluang itu besar banget.
Iya sih benar. The first time you join it and the first time you feel like, wow, this is so interesting. That's so really good, right? Wow. Mungkin akan ada keberlanjutan lagi. Mungkin IEP selanjutnya mau ikut lagi atau untuk program ini cuma ikut sekali aja?
Sekali aja.
Oh, sekali aja maksudnya. Mungkin program yang lain lah ya, Kak ya.
Insyaallah.
Insyaallah. What do you think is the most difficult of the scholarship application process?
That's a great question. I think the most difficult...
Yes.
Would you like to go, Ara, whilst I think of an answer to that? Yeah.
I think the most difficult part is to be able to follow all of the schedule, I think. Karena kita butuh fisik yang prima banget nih untuk follow IEP, karena agenda IEP itu kayak tek gitu. Kayak
Satset
kalau
bahasa kita.
Dan the most difficult things itu adalah mungkin ya berusaha adaptif karena kita tinggal di host family yang Australian family gitu-gitu, dan aku baru sekali untuk memiliki pengalaman tinggal bersama orang tua asuh dan
orang tua asli Di Australia banget. Gitu.
Iya, di Australia kita dapat satu orang tua asuh dan di sana kita berinteraksi dengan mereka setiap hari tentunya dan itu selama 3 weeks, 3 minggu dan ya dari sana baru mengetahui culture Australian bagaimana. Sesimpel kayak kalau misalnya masuk toilet kita nggak boleh basahin toiletnya gitu.
Oh, berarti harus bener-bener
Kering. Kering gitu.
New knowledge untuk saya. Untuk teman-teman juga deh kayaknya.
Dan bener kayak kalau di Indonesia kita melihat opini itu mungkin udah biasa gitu ya. Dan di Australia itu ada opini yang lain lagi gitu. Ada perspektif yang lain lagi yang mungkin kalau misalnya kita dengar di Indonesia itu agak tabu, tapi that's the lesson learned that I got from Australia. Dan difficult things itu sebenarnya nggak ada karena kita bersama-sama dari delegasi yang lain enjoy aja gitu. Dan ya seperti itu.
Okay, and how about you?
Yeah, I think some of the difficulties within the program itself, this is the first time that I've ever been overseas for Christmas, which was a very important time of year for my family at home.
Yes.
So I think that was quite difficult, even just thinking about that in the lead up. When the day came, it was actually a great day. We all got to celebrate all together and I was able to call and FaceTime my family. So I still felt very connected to them.
Yes.
But I think it was more just the thinking about it in the lead up. So that was a challenge. Adjusting to life within the homestay was also a little bit challenging. But after a few days, I felt very settled in, very comfortable, very safe, and very lucky for the opportunity to be able to build a relationship with my host family too and learn just the differences in daily life. So all of the challenges were very quickly followed by very positive things and moments of growth. So I think to anyone listening that is worried about certain challenges, just remember that they will quickly be followed by really great growth.
Yes.
Do you agree with that, Ira?
Yeah, agree. Karena saking banyaknya mungkin challenge ada, tapi kita memang di cover dengan hal positif, jadi kita lupa what's the difficulty that we have been through.
Oh,
is that right? Kayak
kayak teralihkan gitu ya.
Teralihkan dan ya udah adaptif gitu.
Oh, so it means like it is the first time you're not be the like having fight with your family for Merry Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah,
Oh,
first time. So a very different experience, but it'll be a Christmas that I will never forget. And I was able to share it with some amazing people in a very beautiful part of the world. So as I said, even though it was quite challenging being away from my family, that's a memory that I'll never forget. So, yeah.
I think you're a family boy, right?
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
Okay, what the most memorable things or moment during the selection?
During the selection
process, yes.
Oh, selection process.
Yes.
I think the memorable part is actually all of them are memorable. I don't know how to pick one. Tapi yang paling berkesan itu adalah bagaimana kita bisa mengikuti semua schedule. Aku bahkan interview itu sampai jam 1 malam karena really I have to arrange my own speech, dilanjut lagi dengan seleksi speech gitu-gitu. Tapi yang paling memorable itu adalah setelah kita bisa menampilkan yang terbaik, aku kemarin itu prepare mengenai storytelling dari daerah aku gitu dan bisa memperkenalkan itu dan orang-orang jadinya tahu tentang budaya aku, tentang cerita aku. Itu adalah hal yang paling berkesan bagi aku setelah bisa menampilkan yang terbaik gitu.
Feel proud, right?
Iya, kalau di seleksi proses gitu ya.
Okay, how about you, Sam?
I think a really memorable thing from the selection process was actually asking some of my references for a letter of reference, So like one of my university lecturers and one of my previous bosses. I like to think that I'm quite a humble person and asking for a letter of reference is a very awkward thing for me because I'm basically asking them to write something really nice about me. So when I was lucky enough for them to do that. So thank you, John Foley Donahue, and thank you, Associate Professor Jonathan Abrahams. So when I got the letters of reference back and I actually read through what they wrote about me, it was actually very nice and it was a very reassuring thing and it gave me confidence that maybe I am suitable for this program. So it's very memorable because I've never done that before. So
I think you feel sadly, guys, when you like at the process you with your friends, but at the end you're not be together again. It's very sadly, right?
Yeah.
Like the grand final, we call it, it's similar like the grand final of the
Pas di seleksi
Yeah,
proses,
yeah.
iya sih penentuan kandidat
Iya.
yang bakal terpilih gitu.
Pasti ada sedih-sedihnya kan?
Sedih.
Karena prosesnya barengan nih, tiba-tiba lulusnya ya cuma satu gitu.
Karena kuotanya cenderung ketat satu per provinsi, tapi sebenarnya untuk Kemenpora ini kita punya beberapa program. Jadi namanya itu pertukaran pemuda antar negara. Jadi nggak Australia aja, tapi kita juga ada yang ke Jepang, kita ada ke Malaysia, kita ada juga yang ke Kanada, ada ke Korea dan Singapura juga gitu. Tapi kalau untuk tahun ini ada provinsi yang dapat 2 kota, which is Japan dan Australia.
Oh.
Tapi kalau misalnya di West Sumatra itu cuma 1 Australia gitu.
Berarti berdasarkan kotanya ya?
Iya, ada
beda-beda
kotanya.
ya? Oh, aku kira itu emang udah satu gitu loh, Kak. Oh, ternyata enggak ya?
Enggak.
Oke.
Banyak sebenarnya opportunity yang teman-teman bisa ikuti. So,
Iya, dari pengalaman kakak sih kita juga bisa ngeliat kayak, wah sekeren itu ya. Karena kita bisa dibilang untuk sekarang ya, apalagi untuk yang mahasiswa akhir kayak aku, pasti nyarinya bukan cuma untuk senang-senangnya aja nih, untuk long term impactnya juga pasti. Nah, pasti udah mikir kerja di mana ya, dapat koneksi dari mana ya, pasti kayak gitu kan kak. Oke, ini salah satu program yang bisa teman-teman kampus biru ikuti karena bisa dibilang ini membuka peluang bukan hanya untuk nasional karena kalian langsung bertemu dengan pihak-pihak pejabat di kementerian, tetapi juga kalian bisa around international program. Itu luar biasa banget. Jadi ibaratnya setidaknya di internasional kalian udah ditahu lah, setidaknya kalian ada gitu. Walaupun nanti kita nggak tahu ya bakal kepanggil atau enggak.
at least ada.
At least ya. Kalau untuk we move to the personal things. What the hobbies from besides studying? What's your hobbies besides the studying? Like I think for this program you have like background like you love the most studying or just like before I never loved studying but with this program you start to studying a lot.
So about our psychas.
Yes.
Sure. So I've just finished my degree. So
Yes.
I did really enjoy my time at university. I met some amazing people and I've really expanded my knowledge on so many different things. In terms of other hobbies, I really enjoy gardening and I really enjoy traveling. Love listening to music. I think traveling is probably my favorite passion. So yeah, within Australia and outside of Australia, it's been something that I've been very fortunate to be able to do over the past few years and that I will continue to do in the future, seeing the world. And a program like this has been absolutely perfect for that. So yeah.
Which countries did you ever go to a traveler?
I've been to
A lot.
I've been to a few. I've been throughout Europe.
Europe,
Been
okay.
to Morocco,
Morocco.
Turkey,
Turkey. Okay.
Thailand, Cambodia,
Thailand.
Vietnam, Indonesia.
So large, right?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to be able to do that.
How about the Thailand? I think they're really famous with street food. Did you
Yes.
ever try it?
Yes, I
The
did.
word food, like
Yeah,
Oh.
I did a street food tour in Bangkok, and it was a very
And
fun
then?
night, and I didn't get sick, which was great. Yeah, no,
And how about the food in Lombok? Did you like it? Because Lombok is a lot spicy food.
it's been
And-
great.
Oh.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the food. I've only had one moment where I put way too much sambal on something.
Yes.
And I learnt the hard way that the oil in the sambal is the
Okay.
spiciest part.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes. I think chili oil.
Yes,
Oh, yes,
in the chili oil where all of the sambal was at the bottom and the oil was on the top.
Oh.
So I only had the oil. I didn't actually get the chili. So I learnt
So
that
oily.
the hard way, and that was very spicy, and my whole face was tingling and sweating for about 30 minutes. So,
Yeah, it's red like a tomato.
yeah, literally, yeah, I was. So, but besides that, I've actually been okay with the spice. So I've loved all the food. It's been great. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I think
especially
it's like,
satay rembiga.
satay rembiga. You love it.
Yeah, I think I've had it every 3 days whilst I've been here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need to try a lot of traditional food either.
Mm.
I think we have like ayam
Taliwan?
merangka.
Oh, Maranka.
Did you ever try it?
No, not yet.
No, you guys need to try it. I think it is at the central of Lombok. It's
Okay.
like Bonjeruk.
Okay.
I think you need to go there to try it because it's really good.
Okay, well, we
Okay.
still have a week, so
Oh, yeah,
I think
still have a
Oh yeah.
I'll put that in my calendar to make sure I go and try that.
Yeah, sure. And how about you, Miss Ala?
Oh, wait, aku lupa pertanyaannya.
Aku juga lupa tadi. Oh, hobbies.
Oh, hobbies.
Besides studying.
Hobbies aku lebih ke I really love to do random things. Sebenarnya nggak ada particular hobbies yang emang aku lakukan pas waktu luang. Cuman to be honest, I quite hustle in my campus life. Aku suka untuk mengikuti kompetisi, terutama kompetisi debat. Jadi aku salah satu debater di Universitas Andalas. Lalu juga aku bagian dari duta kampus di sana. Aku juga pengen untuk berkontribusi internasional, which is I been to Malaysia untuk volunteer di bidang public health di sana, di Selangor dan di KL.
Kapan rencananya Kak? Atau sudah?
Udah
Sudah.
di Februari kemarin.
Oh, awal tahun. Oke.
Jadi aku kayak memang mencoba hal-hal berbau exchange gitu-gitu. Dan sebenarnya Ayap ini bukan one shoot ya sebenarnya. Aku juga banyak gagalnya dulu gitu, kayak beberapa exchange yang pernah aku coba. Cuman untuk kegiatan aku selama di kampus mungkin lebih ke berkompetisi di luar kampus dan juga mengikuti organisasi gitu.
Oh, nggak salah sih Kakak kepilih. Pengalamannya banyak banget ternyata ya. Luar biasa. Tik, 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 tik. Tepuk tangan. Thanks. Oke, luar biasa. Oke, and how about if you could choose, which country would you like to visit as chef Indonesian again? Maybe another country, like what you never visit before?
That's a great question.
And tell me about the reason.
It's a great question. I'm thinking of traveling to Papua New Guinea.
Oh, really?
Yes, mainly because my uncle is currently living there and working there.
Oh.
And my mum, for a part of her life, was living there as well when she was much younger. So I have a lot of family history in Papua New Guinea. So I think I would like to go and visit there. Also, there is a lot of people who work in my field also work in Papua New Guinea. A lot of my past mentors have spent a lot of time there. So I think it would be an amazing place to visit. So maybe Papua New Guinea next. We'll see. Yeah.
Oh, so good. Papua New Guinea is like I never accept like I think you're gonna choose another country beside like Papua New Guinea, but you chose it. That's good because for Indonesian people, I think they not really choose Papua New Guinea, right? Okay, and how about I want to asking like, did you know Swiss or Switzerland? Did you ever?
I never went to Switzerland, unfortunately, but a few of my friends who I was traveling with in Europe went to Switzerland, and it looks unbelievable. Yeah.
Yes.
So I will get there one day. I think I need to work for a few years to have enough money to go there. Yeah.
No, not really, because Indonesian, especially Lombok, have it the same like the view like Swiss. Yes, we have it. It's called Sembalun. I think we
Oh,
you
yes.
guys. You ever go over that?
I think I'm going in a few days to Sembalun, which is I'm
yes.
very excited for. So
Yes, yes, that's good. That's the view is really good. It's
Yeah.
similar like a Swiss, but not really same, but it's similar.
yeah. Well, I'm
And
looking
how about
forward to
you?
it. Yeah.
Country that I want to visit the most in Europe, I guess. Iya. Aku sangat antusias untuk melihat kayak museum gitu-gitu. Jadi
Oh, sangat anaknya art banget ya, seni gitu.
lebih I don't know. Tapi you know the Sagrada Familia, right?
Yes.
The cathedral.
I've been there twice.
Iya.
Cathedral.
Iya, jadi bangunannya tuh bagus banget. Jadi aku pengen visit ke sana. And my co-part Muriel udah pernah ke sana. Jadi oh my god, that's so opportunity yang mau aku kejar untuk ke Europe gitu.
Why you don't choose Yunani? Because I think that this is similar, right?
I don't know. I haven't researched about it yet, I guess, karena aku cuma tahu dari YouTube dan lain-lain
Yeah.
gitu. Jadi kalau misalnya ngelihat yang bagus dikit, pengen ke sana, yang bagus dikit pengen
Semuanya
ke sana,
dipilih.
kita pengen dipilih semuanya gitu.
Tapi ya ada keterbatasannya.
Duit.
Iya, simpelnya duit. Iya.
Iya.
Okay, and maybe you guys can share for us like what the really like you feel it's changed your life to be the part this program?
Oh, it definitely
Yes.
has. Yeah,
Yeah, what's
it really has changed my life. The IEP program has come at a very interesting time in my life. As I said, I've just graduated university, so my time as a student has now sadly ended. This was my first semi-professional experience working overseas, as I've said earlier. And I think what this program has really done is really tied my future to Indonesia, especially. If without this program, I wouldn't have made anywhere near the amount of connections in the country as I have. So many friends everywhere, as I've said. Like, I just know for a fact that I will continue to visit Indonesia for the next 20, 30 years. As long as I'm physically able to, I will visit every few years, I think. And it also means that once I get home, I'm going to be much more involved in the Australia-Indonesia space. I already know that I'm going to join more organisations that are focused on the Australia-Indonesia relationship.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just really expanded my worldview and especially my understanding of Indonesia. And I know there's a lot more that I have to learn, but it's been such a great experience for that. So IEP has definitely changed my life, and I'm very, very grateful that I've been able to be a part of it. Yeah.
So it's meant like you're gonna come into Indonesia more and more again.
I think so. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a mission to visit every delegate's hometown.
It's only one province, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
really?
I've been to Lombok now, so I don't have to. Well, I will come back to Lombok, but I've seen Alia's hometown, so 20 more to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to visit 34 province in
Yeah.
Indonesia. Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
And how about you, Miss Ara?
Apa ya? Pelajaran yang paling berguna atau paling berharga bagi itu adalah ternyata untuk belajar itu kita harus open dengan semua hal gitu. Kita kalau misalnya berbicara mengenai tempat belajar itu universitas, tempat belajar itu organisasi, tapi a lot more than that ternyata. Dan IEP itu membuka pikiran aku tentang ternyata dengan kamu datang ke Australia, dengan kamu punya counterpart itu kayak partner kita. Dengan kamu visit ini itu, kamu bisa mendapatkan fleksibilitas mengenai budaya, mengenai pembelajarannya. Karena untuk menjadi delegasi itu kami ada sertifikasi gitu, mengenai kebudayaan kami, dan kami harus mengisi itu setiap minggunya, the global cultural competence, right? Dan itu yang membuat aku belajar ternyata banyak keberagaman yang bisa membuka kolaborasi kita di luar sana. Dan being part of IEP membuat aku menjadi fleksibel karena misalnya kayak gini kita diundang jadi speaker untuk sharing gitu, atau kita harus berkolaborasi dengan mungkin aspek yang tidak pernah kita cemplungi gitu. Kayak aku harus berbicara mengenai ekonomi kadang-kadang walaupun aku anaknya public health gitu-gitu. Tapi yang intinya adalah menjadi individu yang terbuka, menjadi individu yang adaptif tentunya. Dan mungkin untuk kembali ke daerah asal aku bakal bisa sharing dan involve ke society aku, ke community aku, atau lebih berkontribusi pada vulnerable actor yang selama ini belum ke approach sama government misalnya, seperti itu. Karena youth, ya siapa lagi kalau bukan kita gitu.
Betul, dan kapan lagi? Kalau bukan sekarang.
Iya.
Oke, ini berarti kalau kakak seandainya ikut program ini, secara nggak langsung kamu belajar banyak dong ya? Karena memang nggak fokus di satu topik gitu ya?
Iya benar.
Oh, wah, agak bahasanya kita lintas jurusan. Oke, talking about, we ever talking before about a favorite food, right? You love sate rembiga?
Yeah.
Okay. And which another food did you ever try in Lombok especially, or Indonesia? What's the favorite food?
I think my favorite Indonesian food would be rendang. So not a Lombok dish, but
My province.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I think rendang would probably be my favorite Indonesian dish overall. But yeah, I've really enjoyed trying all the food in Lombok and the Sasak food. Yeah, it's been amazing. But yeah, satay rembiga especially. Then there are another couple dishes that I've also really enjoyed. I just can't remember the name of them.
What is that? What looks like?
trying to think now. There was one, I don't think it's from Lombok, but it's like a noodle dish with the peanut sauce on top.
Gado-gado.
No, not gado-gado.
It's pecel.
Yes,
Pecel.
pecel.
Pecel,
yeah,
oh,
that.
pecel. It's similar, I think.
Yeah.
Because different city, it's have a different name of that food. It's
Yeah.
called gado-gado. Some people it's called pelecing either. No, it's similar like pecel, yeah. Pecel
Yeah.
and
Peanut
gado-gado.
sauce in it?
Yeah,
Yes,
on
peanut.
the noodles and everything.
Oh,
yeah,
That was
yeah.
really good. Yeah.
It's sometimes it's like it's vegetables, full of vegetables, right? And what we call topat. And did you know ketupat?
Oh ya,
Yes.
ketupat. The rice.
Yeah, the rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
And how about you? Maybe the favorite food from Lombok and Australia.
Oh,
Yes.
kalau Australia I really love ada kue namanya Lamington.
Yes.
Oh.
Jadi kuenya itu kayak apa ya? Mungkin kayak kue coklat, cuma di
Okay.
luarnya itu cover by coconut. is it?
Oh.
Dan itu manis gitu.
Oh,
Jadi
okay.
sebagai dessert itu kayak enak gitu.
Okay.
Aku juga suka budaya Australia itu punya afternoon tea. Jadi di saat afternoon itu sebelum dinner kita ada misalnya gathering keluarga dulu kayak minum teh gitu, atau kalau misalnya prefer kopi ya kopi. Di situ apa ya kayak conversation yang diadakan sama keluarga gitu. Tapi kalau misalnya Lombok semuanya enak.
Oh, really? Kakak emang basicnya suka spicy food atau gimana?
Karena Padang juga gitu ya.
Oh,
Jadi
iya
aku
ya?
tidak terlalu struggling dengan pedas di sini.
Oh,
Tapi
iya.
sebenarnya pedasnya itu beda gitu. Aku suka ayam taliwang, aku suka sate rembiga juga.
Really liked the ayam taliwang too.
Yes, it is.
Bebalung, is that correct?
Oh, yes,
Bebalung,
correctly, yes.
Supnya enak.
Banget.
Terus ikan pindang.
Oh, yang kuah kuning.
Yes.
Oke.
Terus ada plecing juga.
Oh, banyak ya?
Banyak.
Oh, ternyata aku pikir kakak punya struggling di menyukai atau beradaptasi dengan food-food yang ada di Lombok, especially because like in a lot of country or city, especially in Indonesia, kayaknya Lombok itu adalah makan terpedas, mostly. Ya, I think karena mungkin berdasarkan namanya juga, Lombok itu sama dengan artinya cabai. Iya, jadi ya mungkin karena itu ya backgroundnya. Okay, and maybe you can give us about advice do you have for friends who's watching this podcast who want to get a scholarship? Okay, maybe you can see the camera and give the advice.
Menurut aku bagi teman-teman yang berumur, kalau misalnya ikut AYEP berumur 21 sampai 25 tahun, which is teman-teman ada yang masih student atau udah kerja gitu, sangat dianjurkan untuk memanfaatkan kesempatan ini dengan baik karena kita youth, kita masih muda, dan to be part of AYEP, kamu itu bisa berkontribusi untuk apply apa yang udah dipelajari di universitas dan misalnya di program kerja. Kalau misalnya sudah menjadi pekerja, itu bisa di-combine antara bekerja di Indonesia atau bekerja di Australia. Dan menurut aku ini salah satu kesempatan untuk membuka peluang kita berkoneksi dengan orang banyak, dan salah satu kontribusi kita juga bagi negara untuk memanfaatkan ini sebagai hubungan bilateral atau diplomasi antara Australia dan Indonesia gitu.
Oke, itu dari Miss Ara, luar biasa sekali. Tepuk tangan dulu. Tuk, 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 tuk. Okay, and how about you, Mr. Sam? What the advice that you want to give?
I think one of the most important things that people often forget when applying for such programs, because the programs can seem like really, really big and really far
Yes.
away, but just have confidence in yourself. That's one of the most important things. Like, you have to believe that you belong there, and most of the time you do belong there. So really just have confidence in yourself, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and be confident that you can bring your strengths to the table and that you can develop your weaknesses too.
Okay.
I think that's a really important thing. So just having confidence in yourself.
Even kayak language barrier, mungkin teman-teman ada yang nggak pede, nggak bisa nih bahasa Inggris gitu,
Iya,
atau nggak pernah
betul.
keluar negeri gitu.
Betul.
Gak apa-apa, kita mencoba, kita open banget karena beberapa dari delegasi AYEP juga ini pengalaman pertama mereka keluar negeri misalnya, atau ini language barrier mereka, tapi end up kita bersama-sama gitu. Even kalau misalnya masih terbata-bata ngomong bahasa Inggris, that's still okay. As long as you have an idea, as long as kamu punya willingness untuk open dan understanding about the culture, I think go on.
Yes. The first one is point of your statement is love yourself and be confident.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Give it applause. Okay. Once again, what is the most important thing you learned during the scholarship? The most important, like maybe you think like before it's just the fun thing atau the fun tour, but when you come to be the part of this, like, oh wow, it is the first time I learned this one. It is the first time I know this one. This is the first time I see this one or anything else. What is?
Please go on.
She's still thinking, I think.
I think one really important thing that this program has taught me is just how connected the world is.
Okay.
Even though it is about an 8-hour flight in total to get back home to Melbourne,
Yes.
I will still remain very connected with a lot of the people here in Lombok and
Okay.
people from the IAP delegation across Indonesia. It is a very connected world, and the actions that we take at home affect people across the world. I think that's one thing that has really sunk in for me. And a really important lesson that I've learned from this whole experience as well is just being able to adapt on the fly. Things change very quickly, and being able to cope with that and move forward and still achieve your goals and add your strengths and everything. Being able to roll with the punches, as we say in English, is really important. So I haven't had an experience like this where I've been forced to adapt as quickly as we have, but it's been a really amazing lesson to learn, and it's something that I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Miss Ara?
Iya, mungkin menurut aku perjalanan untuk menjadi adaptif itu kita harus ada di fase respect-nya dulu gitu.
Respect each other.
Yeah, respect each other, respect every person perspective mungkin. Karena menurut aku bagi delegasi Indonesia untuk datang ke Australia yang multicultural banget, itu pasti akan ada kekagetan atau ada oh kok gini gitu. Tapi instead of saying why, kita harusnya lebih ke belajar gitu. Apa sih yang melatar belakangi mereka punya culture ini, atau apa sih gimana lifestyle mereka gitu. Dan sama dengan Lombok gitu, ternyata orang-orang punya different style of life dan mereka masih mereka masih survive gitu, atau mereka memang membudayakan, mereka memuliakan lifestyle itu. Dan I think to be adaptive with with those cultural, you have to be respect gitu.
Okay.
Yang dipelajari.
So mostly it's about the connection and the impact each other and how you learn each other perspective, or maybe like the first personal characters. It is because for another people is with another people is have different characters, right? So okay, who was the most okay instrumental person in your life to get this scholarship? The first one is like what you're talking before. Your friend is the name Jack is
Tess. Yeah.
The one is make you know this program.
Yeah.
And that one, and when you got this program, who's you want to like make a proud, like what you're talking, like your parents, yes, and that, and another people was like be the part of the journey to be get the worthy of the scholarship. Okay.
I think when it comes to the most instrumental in this whole experience, I would probably say my girlfriend Ruby at home.
Yes.
She was the one who first of all told me about this program through Tex, her friend.
Okay.
But her support for me this entire experience has been just incredible. This is the longest that we've ever been apart during our relationship, so that has brought its own challenges. But our both of our efforts to stay connected and make little extra efforts here and there, but most importantly, her support of me and her understanding why I wanted to partake in a program that would see me go away for Christmas and away for 2 months, and her support and her ability to understand why and just continue supporting me has been incredible. And I couldn't have done this program without that. So, yeah, she's definitely been probably the most instrumental in this. Yeah.
So really good. And how about you?
So sweet.
Yeah, really sweet. I think because the background is a family boy. It's feel like sweetness. Heard. Okay.
I think personally it's my parents. Thank you, mama, papa.
Oh, ikut mau papa either.
Mami, papa.
Mami, papa.
I don't know why.
Mommy, papi, why?
Gak tahu, papa aja gitu.
Oke.
Iya, aku pengen bikin bangga orang tua aku karena menurut aku ya udah aku sebagai mahasiswa I cannot make money gitu. Ya udah aku instead of bekerja aku mencoba dulu untuk experience sana sini gitu. Orang tua motivasi utama aku. Yang kedua my sister. Terus the rest is my friend karena teman-teman aku itu membantu banget. Contohnya kayak tadi di Instagram kita ada photoshoot gitu. Teman-teman aku nemenin dari pagi sampai malam. Ngambil videonya, photoshootnya.
Bestie banget ya.
Bestie banget gitu.
Terus, ya boleh dadah dulu ke teman-teman.
Nanti deh gitu.
Oke.
Tapi ya apa ya sesimpel mereka nemenin, sesimpel mereka bantuin di video itu such a really means a lot for me.
Yes, sure.
Karena kalau misalnya nggak ada mereka,
Yeah, it's
I
hard
cannot
for you.
make this.
Yes, I can't make this. Okay, but I think I ever asked him before about how this scholarship has changed your perspective, right? And I want to know like the most is more like the thing. It's a really you think like I gonna feel like a regret if you not be the part of this scholarship for this years.
Aku bakal nyesel nggak ikut program ini karena di program ini aku menemukan keluarga baru tentunya
yes.
dari
New family.
21 provinsi. Aku tidak perlu mencari tempat penginapan kalau ke traveling. Kalau misalnya ke Australia, ke Melbourne perlu reach out Sam aja. Tapi other
Hemat
than
ya,
that,
hemat budget.
other than that, in terms of family, terus apa ya, untuk mempelajari tentang budaya atau memang involve di dunia kerja Australia itu nggak mudah. Kita memerlukan satu visa, kita perlu koneksi yang gede banget untuk bisa engaging to governmental dan lain sebagainya di Australia. Tapi Ayat membuka visa diplomatis bagi kamu untuk memanfaatkan kesempatan itu untuk internship. Dan internshipnya 3 minggu, nggak hanya bekerja tapi kita juga kayak apa ya, sharing tentang knowledge pribadi gitu. Dan pastinya itu nggak bakal aku dapatkan kalau aku cuman misalnya kenalan sama orang Australia di Instagram gitu. Nggak terlalu apa ya, nggak terlalu
Itu banget gitu, nggak terlalu terasa
conversation.
gitu ya.
Bener. Ya tapi di sana itu mereka sangat welcome. Aku bahkan kayak diundang ke dinner temannya host family aku yang juga kerja di kementerian. Dia ternyata orang Indonesia juga tapi aku sudah punya visa di sana. Dan aku belajar gimana sih, kenapa sih at the end dia itu tertarik sama Australia dan lain sebagainya. Intinya mempelajari tentang negara dengan belajar di sana juga gitu.
Okay, how about you?
I think the thing I would have regretted the most if I didn't partake in the program was missing out on making 41 new amazing friends.
Yes.
As I said, like they're connections for life. Every single person that we've been able to do this program with. So I think that's one big thing that I would have regretted. Also, just missing out on the opportunity to become a part of the Australian-Indonesian story. Like we're all a part of this story now. Our 2 countries are going to have an amazing future together, and to be a part of that is really, really special. So to say that I've engaged in a program which has promoted the relationship between our countries, I'm really grateful to be a part of, and I would have really regretted missing out on that opportunity.
Yeah, sure. Maybe you guys want to recommend, of course, for Sam, recommend Indonesian for your friends to come visit or anything else. And you, Miss Ara, you're going to recommend your friends to go to Australia because what? And why? Okay.
Menurut aku kenapa teman-teman itu terbuka untuk Australia, karena di Australia itu banyak orang Indonesia tentunya.
Okay.
I feel like home karena kalau misalnya kita lagi barbekyuan di suatu piknik dan lain sebagainya, itu aku di reach out sama orang Indonesia yang lagi studi di sana, lagi kerja di sana dan lain-lain. Itu karena ternyata hubungan Indonesia sama Australia itu gede banget.
Baik banget.
Salah
gitu ya.
satu negara yang menjustify kemerdekaan Indonesia itu adalah Australia. Gitu. Jadi Australia itu berkontribusi besar banget bagi our Independence Day. Dan menurut aku ketika kita di Australia, teman-teman itu bisa merasakan work-life balance atau slow living dan kesempatannya itu terbuka bagi siapa saja. Kayak discrimination itu tuh
Minim.
minim karena mereka itu multicultural. Every person have their own freedom dan every person have their own opportunity to contribute dan lain sebagainya, dan itu menurut aku membuka kesempatan bagi Indonesia untuk mencoba nih skill baru atau mencoba opportunity environmental baru di Australia gitu.
How about you, Sam?
I think the biggest thing that I would tell my friends about Indonesia is just the people. As I said to start this, everyone here has been so incredibly welcoming of all of us and have been so genuinely interested in our own lives and the lives of people in Australia. And I think Australians would be so interested in the lives here. I think that's the biggest thing for me, just the absolute warmth and genuine care that all Indonesians show for each other and also for visitors within their home cities and everything. So I think, and all, not to mention the incredible landscapes and beautiful nature, that's just a plus.
Yeah.
So that's what makes Indonesia such an amazing place to visit, because you get the most absolute incredible hospitality and you get the most beautiful scenes and you get amazing food and everything. So I think that's my biggest message for.
Did you guys have afraid before, like feel, oh, I can do this, oh, I think I can handle that one, this one, before you come to Indonesia and before you go to Australia? What the afraid that you feeling?
Oh iya, menurut aku ketakutan terbesar aku itu adalah ketika misalnya tempat internship aku itu mengekspektasikan hal yang besar, karena aku belum pernah kerja di luar negeri sebenarnya, dan aku takut aja kalau misalnya ternyata sistemnya berbeda, atau ternyata birokrasi yang harus aku ikuti berbeda gitu.
Betul.
Tapi turns out tidak seperti itu. Mereka sangat open. Oh, kamu punya pengalaman seperti apa, dan mereka adjust dengan apa yang telah kita lalui selama ini, dan itu membuka kayak kemudahan bagi aku gitu.
Okay, and how about you? It's like you don't need to the high expectation, right? Okay, and how about you, Mr. Sam?
As I said earlier, since I have been to Indonesia in June, a lot of the initial culture shocks were sort of dealt with then. But one thing I was worried about for this trip was the humidity in the wet season. I haven't been to a Southeast Asian country during wet season, so and I've heard so much about the rain and the humidity and everything.
Yes.
And whilst that has been true, it's actually been really fun to be here in the wet season, like to see the insane rain here and everything. So that was one thing that I was worried about, because I thought it would really mean that we couldn't do things, like we couldn't go places, and we wouldn't be able to do things outside of our house because it would just be raining all the time. But no, it's been great, actually, and it's been a really cool thing to see. And I've definitely gotten soaked more times than once. But now I permanently have my rain jacket with me, which is in my bag just over there, ready to go.
You take it over there.
Exactly. So I learnt my lesson the hard way the first time. But yeah.
Oh, okay. How about the weather? You feel like really have a big difference, like Australian and Indonesia, because we have many different of the weather, right? You have four weather, if I'm not wrong. Four of the weather.
Yes, we have 4 seasons.
We just have 2, if I'm not wrong. Yes.
So at the moment at home, it's the middle of summer, so it's also very hot.
Yes.
But we're not getting anywhere near as much rain at home at the moment.
Yes.
So Australia in summer is kind of similar to Indonesia. It's not as humid, it's more dry heat, but in winter it's much colder in Australia, especially in Melbourne, where I'm from. It can get down to 7 or 8 degrees for the day, but then in summer it can also actually get hotter in Australia in some places. So it's really nice here because you just know it's going to be the same temperature every day. It might rain more some days than others, but in Melbourne especially, they often joke that we can have 4 seasons in one day. So you need to pack lots of different clothes because you never know what the weather's going to do, and it can change so quickly.
Yes.
And you always need to check the weather forecast every day before you leave the house. But here it's just like, I think it's going to be 30 degrees today, like it is every day.
And how about you? When you go to Australia, it's what the weather of the
I think it's
summer?
spring.
Spring?
Summer. Is that
Oh,
right?
okay,
Like
okay.
I've been to Melbourne seminggu.
Oke.
Tapi Melbourne itu dingin banget ternyata. It's 9 degree in the morning in Melbourne.
Oh, wow.
Dan aku nggak punya apa sih kayak
Mantel.
baju
iya.
puffy gitu.
Oh, iya.
Aku cuman bawa jaket Kemenpora. Tapi di situ emang dingin banget kalau dari Melbourne. Walaupun itu udah mau masuk summer dan pindah ke Canberra itu misalnya siangnya panas tapi mau menuju dinner sekitar jam 5, jam 6 itu udah dingin banget.
Oh,
Tapi kok hujan itu jarang. Aku jarang banget dapat hujan.
Berarti perubahan suhunya drastis ya di ini.
Mungkin nggak terlalu drastis karena pagi dingin, siang agak hangat dikit, terus dingin
Lagi.
gitu.
Okay. Did you ever feel sick in Indonesia because of the food or the weather or what?
Yes,
What?
I had when I was here in June, I had quite bad food poisoning.
okay.
But this trip, I only had mild food poisoning.
Okay, you already well prepared about anything.
Yes, I sort of knew what it was going to be like, and this time was nowhere near as bad as last time.
Okay.
I was back at work in 2 days' time.
You learn from the mistakes.
I learnt, yes, it's all a learning experience. But no, I've actually been in pretty good health this whole time, which is very good. I'm very lucky for that.
Yes,
Very
you
grateful
see
for
it
that.
right now.
Yeah.
You're so really healthy.
Oh, thank you.
How about you, Miss Sarah? Pernah sakit nggak di Iya, sakitnya nggak? Demam atau gimana?
High fever in Melbourne.
Oh.
I think a few of the Indonesians did.
Yeah, I think so.
Tiba-tiba itu ngedrop gitu, tiba-tiba kayak badannya tuh pegel, ternyata running nose juga gitu. Terus
Di sana ada tukang pijit nggak? Oh sorry.
ada
Oh, iya.
mahal tapi
Oh iya, emang ada.
massage. Dia
Massage.
right?
Oh.
Ya, ada.
Tapi bukan maksud tradisional kayak di Indo yang kayak
Lebih ke refleksi kali.
oh, I see. Oke, berarti sakitnya cuma karena kayaknya kecapean sih kan?
Iya, kecapean.
Karena penyesuaian suhu juga.
Suhu
kali.
karena dingin banget gitu.
Oke. The last thing, karena kita udah dari tadi ini banyak banget we talking a lot of things about Australian, Indonesian, and cultural and anything else about Ayab. What the closing statement that you guys to give to maybe your friends or the people who watching this podcast or maybe your family or anything or anyone? Go first. Who wants to go first? Or me? No. Okay, Sam.
I think for anyone who is interested in this program, be confident in yourself, be ready to learn, and be willing to adapt. I think are some really strong pieces of advice. To my family, thank you so much for your support this entire time. And I'm sorry I haven't called as much as I should have. And
That's
I'm sorry
okay.
I wasn't there for Christmas, but it's been an incredible experience. So thank you so much. And to all of my new friends here today and in the IAP delegation, thank you so much. I've gotten so much out of this experience. Thank you all so much. Yeah.
Okay, that's so well touched.
Yeah,
to hear
no
that.
touch.
How about you, Miss Hannah?
Please call your family after this.
I will, yeah. It's been a few days.
Because I think tomorrow night is the New Year. If I'm not
Yes,
wrong. Yes,
yeah.
so sad.
Yeah.
Not your family. With your family. It's okay. You too. You're not with your family, right? Oh, okay. Tell your closing statement.
Menurut aku buat teman-teman yang punya interest dalam bidang exchange, pengen punya suasana baru di student life atau pekerjaan gitu-gitu, ini merupakan kesempatan yang bisa teman-teman ambil karena pemerintah kita sudah menyediakan wadah ini bagi pemuda secara gratis, secara healthy well-being, dan memang sudah tercover semuanya. Jadi teman-teman please check Kemenpora Instagram gitu. Tapi other than that, kalau misalnya teman-teman punya willingness untuk belajar, teman-teman tertarik banget dalam bidang bilateral, even or not, ini merupakan kesempatan yang bagus juga. Dan I'm really thankful untuk Kemenpora dan juga Divet sudah mewadahi kita untuk belajar sampai sini selama 3 bulan untuk bisa berkolaborasi dan culture exchange, untuk hidup di Australia juga. Dan I'm really thankful for all of people that involved in my process, selection process, dan sampai sekarang to all of the delegates, all of host family, Sam, NBI, dan you guys here, thank you for having me. Dan nanti kalau misalnya ada informasi lagi, please reach out. Kak Rara ada di sini, or even Sam.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, itu okay. Mungkin segitu aja untuk Sobat Kampus Biru, untuk podcast kita hari ini benar-benar luar biasa, memberikan kita new insight, new knowledge, and secara tidak langsung kalian juga bisa membayangkan nih apa sih kehidupan mereka saat menjadi part of Ayat. Nah, jadi kedepannya kalian udah bisa prepare nih dari sekarang, atau mungkin kalau mau tanya-tanya bisa hubungin di sini ya, di Kak Ara atau bahkan di Sam. Nanti kita bakal coba untuk mungkin next podcast we talking about anything maybe, or you guys have recommend. It's feel free to tell us in the comment. And maybe just it for today. Thank you so much for your attention and see you. Bye bye.
See you.